You have people? You have people who do that work for you?
I Googled specific serial killers and asked what Hogwart's house they were in. And somebody else had already done it.
Oh, so you weren't like looking up their characteristics and then sorting them yourself.
I can't remember their characteristics.
First of all,
I barely remember their names.
Work.
Well, I mean, I've got the sorting hat sits right next to me every single podcast. So all I have to do is put some batteries in them. Why?
I don't think that it'll work on dead serial killers.
You don't think so?
Are you going to dig up their graves and put the Hogwarts hat on their skulls?
Well, I don't know. Tell me a serial killer.
Dennis Rader.
Look.
Nope, battery's dead. Sorry.
Go suck the energy right out of those things.
No sorting hat for you today.
They don't get to go to Hogwarts.
Nope. Okay, welcome to the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast. My name is KJ. I'm going to do some sound effects. It'll be weird. We'll get through it, and then we'll move on. Okay. Choo, 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 choo. Pop, pop, ping, ping. Choo, choo, choo. Wah, wah, wah. This is a major announcement. Wah, wah, wah. Welcome to the 100th episode of the Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast. Woo!
Look at us go.
One of the OG Kind of Nerdy Girls joining us to tell us about what TV is making her cry. It's producer Johna. Choo, choo, choo. Pop, pop, poo, poo. Wow, 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 wow.
Hey peeps, I hung up my Captain America picture finally.
Oh, that's a fun fact. Yay.
Very excited.
Very nice. Choo, choo, choo. And also with us from the very beginning, she's creating an empire of podcasts and I'm gravy training off of it. Choo, 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 choo. Pow, pow, ping, poo, poo. Woo, woo. From the Just What I Needed network, it's Kitsie Duncan. Woo, woo.
My fun fact is I'm radioactive today and I hope I get superpowers. Yes!
Wow! Whoa! Tell us about this.
So I have a hyperactive thyroid they'd like to kill. So I swallowed a pill that was radioactive and I have to self-distance not only because of COVID, but because I'm radioactive from my husband for 3 days, different beds. It's so weird.
Oh my gosh. What about the puppies?
The doctor, I specifically asked about the puppies. They said, as long as you're not sitting with them on your throat, you're fine. So
All right.
Hope he was right.
Okay. Ooh, that would be torture.
So how are we fixing that?
You know, it's just going to kind of do its thing. The radioactivity, it's radioactive iodine that kills my thyroid. Hopefully it'll just make it normal, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
But I see, here's where my concern is. It's not the radioactivity. It's like my personality is going to change, which is really weird.
We'll tell you if it's changing. We'll tell you if it's changing and we won't let it.
If you're like, I don't want to hunt ghosts anymore, I'll be like, okay, wait a minute. Let's calm down.
Okay. Intervention.
Yes.
I will expect one in the pool. Then I'm not radioactive.
Yes. So when she's not radioactive, she is hunting ghosts. She has a TV show called Oddity Files and a podcast that has the same name. And we were just discussing how, Johna, I am going to be joining Kitsie for some ghost hunts. And you do not have to come along.
Good.
Johna's going to nope her way out.
I wasn't going to. Y'all got me for one, and that was enough.
Producer Johna is not interested in hunting ghosts, although we give her credit. She went one time.
One time.
Y'all
lucky I went that time. That was a lot of guilt y'all put on me to go. So much guilt.
Oh, is guilt all it takes? I'm on it.
Oh God, don't. I'm Catholic, so that guilt really hits me hard, man.
Ooh, yeah.
That sucks.
We can totally get back to that. Now, speaking of that, Johna, I want to bring up some comments from our last episode. You know, I don't know why we get on subjects that we do, but we do. And so that's our show. So welcome to the things that are going to happen that we don't know are going to happen yet. We need
it's just pretty much a conversation between chicks who like nerdy things. I mean, that's all it is.
Right, right. We used to have a show called The Kind of Nerdy News. And what we realized is that one, I got fired and I didn't get to keep it. But also, we did not have enough news to make it like if you see a podcast that says news, you're gonna want like what's new. And that's that's not us. I mean, we will talk about some things that are going on, but sometimes it's not new because I didn't get it posted for 2 weeks. And sometimes it's not new because we're just kind of nerdy and we totally missed something big that was going on. So we're going to talk about things that may or may not be new, but our promise to you is that they will be interesting. And Johna, I expect you to bring it.
And kind of nerdy.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure for me. Thanks.
Well,
God.
pressure and guilt. Whoa.
Yeah.
Right. Gosh, guys, I can't handle it. I don't have enough drugs for that.
So in our last episode, I believe what we were doing was discussing DC, the DC universe. And we got into, I know, Johna, it's okay. But for some reason, we went from the DC universe to talking about Kevin Smith, who is a big fan of the DC universe. He's even hosted some of the, like he hosted the
forehead guy. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the Crisis on Infinite Earths. He hosted those after parties. So every time one of those episodes aired, he's such a nerd like us that he got to host the party, just like geeking out about
Nice.
what happened on the last episode. The reason I am telling you all this is because in our last episode, Johna had no idea who Kevin Smith was.
Okay, I
honey.
know who Kevin Smith is. It's just when you say his name, I'm like, dang, who is that?
Okay.
And then I remember that he's the forehead guy. And then I'm like, okay, great, I got it.
Why is he the forehead guy?
Why is he the forehead guy?
Does he have a really big forehead?
He usually wears a baseball hat backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, maybe we're not talking about the same person.
But Kitsie, I went through Mallrats, Clerks, Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob, and neither producer Johna nor Alana King, our special guest, knew who I was talking about.
This guy looks like Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
No.
I don't think you're looking at the right guy.
No. Show me.
I have no idea who this guy is. Are you talking about this guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's the
That's
guy.
I have no idea. Okay, well, that's not forehead guy. Who's the guy with the really big forehead? He's from like Dr.
There's
Who
a
or
lot
whatever.
of them.
You're talking about Matt Smith? No, Matt Smith's got a big chin. From Doctor Who that has a big forehead?
Tennant?
Or like he's got like the no eyebrows, like really big forehead.
That's Matt
Is that
Smith.
Matt Smith?
Yeah.
Okay.
No eyebrows.
I don't know who I don't know who Kevin Smith is either. So like
Okay.
At least you got the last name right.
You did. You did.
I was doing some good word association there, I feel like.
Right. So anyway, Donna commented on she couldn't believe you didn't know who Kevin Smith was. Sarah Wild couldn't believe it. I mean, like Sarah responded, she tweeted Kevin Smith is her favorite of all time and was so upset that you didn't even know.
That's a bold statement.
It is. It is. Johna,
see, I've never watched any of those movies. I'm not going to lie. I watched Dogma. They were in Dogma. By they, I mean Jay and Silent Bob, which is Kevin Smith and Jane Mewes. But I lived through the 90s. Johna was just a baby in the 90s.
Literally, I was born in 94, so.
I know, but you've been around long enough for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And they just put out the Jay and Silent Bob sequel. And Johna, now... Okay, I had a thought. Where did it go? I remembered why.
I took it.
I don't know. I feel like you're going to tell me I got to watch something. And...
Nope. Kitsie said something, and then I remembered why.
Mallrats?
No. Oh.
Dogma?
Dogma. Dogma was the movie we were talking about. We were talking about other Chris's that we could watch for bonus Christmas days. And I was like going through my head, like, oh, Christopher Walken. I said, Chris Rock. And then I was like, oh, Chris Rock. Best movie he's ever been in is Dogma. And Johna was like, what's that? And then I started explaining it. And then I explained all of Kevin Smith's amazing career. And he's one of the first successful podcasters. He has a huge podcast and has for a really
There
long
was a
time.
TV show made after his podcast which is done by my friends Ming Chen and Michael Zapkick, and I can never remember the other guy's name because he's never at the shows. But yeah,
Oh, wow.
Comic Stash is his comic book store, right? He owns a comic book store.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the Comic Book Men was a TV show. It was on after The Walking Dead on AMC. And it was pretty much about these guys who ran Kevin's comic book store who podcasted. And now Ming Chen has his own little podcast empire because of Kevin Smith. So yes,
gosh.
maybe you should look into him. He's really great guy. I've not met him. CPO has shot him a couple times. But
by that you mean Celeb Photo Ops has taken pictures
correct.
Of him. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes. That's okay.
I should elaborate the name of my company.
I was more concerned that someone was going to be like, they've shot him a couple times.
Oh yeah. Photo shoot.
He's still kicking though, so it's fine.
He is. Yeah. So I have met him, and it was very funny because we had a running joke on our radio show because we were a little bitty radio show. We couldn't get big guests on our show, but we would occasionally have a morning where we would say that Silent Bob was with us and that
he didn't say anything.
He was he's actually in studio, but he's contractually obligated not to talk. He only agreed to appear with us if he was Silent Bob. So, and people would call in and tell Silent Bob how much they loved him. Now, I will say I was very uncomfortable with this. I never liked the DJs that deceived people.
They still do that.
Yeah. So listen, that's why I'm not there anymore, because I'm an honest woman and I couldn't live with myself. And they didn't want me anymore.
You just said why you didn't work there anymore.
But Kevin Smith came to Indianapolis, so he's gone on tours several times where he'll show one of his movies and then he sits around and he talks with people. It's a really cool experience to have with Kevin Smith. And we got him in studio. And at that point, no one believed us that we had him in studio because we had said so many times. And then they're like, yeah, right, he's in studio. And then who do you have doing his voice? And I was like, no, seriously. We had to explain to Kevin Smith that occasionally we pretended he was with us as Silent Bob. And it was really embarrassing. And
I bet he approved of that whole shenanigan.
Yeah, he was fine with it. He was really, really cool. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just a nerd like us. I mean, and he's living a dream. He had some movies that made it. And so he gets to, do things like host after shows for DC because he's such a DC geek. So you should get to know him, Johna. He's one of us.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I'll be sure to tweet
Please follow him on the Twitter
as soon as this is over.
He's a podcaster and he's a nerd. And you should probably watch Dogma, is all I'm saying. You don't have to watch the other ones. They're acquired. I would not say that they are my favorite movies. Dogma is definitely the best one. It
has Alanis Morissette in it. It has Affleck, but the cute one is in it. And that's why I watched it. What's his name?
Who, Casey?
Ben Affleck, and they're always in movies together. Matt Damon.
Affleck and Matt Damon. Yes.
It's very
so you think Matt Damon is the cute one?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Always have.
Mm-hmm. Johna, Matt Damon, or Ben Affleck?
Can I pick neither?
No, you have to pick one.
Oh.
You know how this works. You can only keep one. The other one.
I don't know. I don't really love or hate either one of them. I'm just kind of
but you have to pick one.
I guess Matt Damon.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
I don't
Appreciate you, Johna.
I would, on the same wavelength as Johna, I would not say that I've ever been crushing on either one of them, but Ben Affleck, honestly, Ben Affleck as Batman, as he's aged, I think that Ben Affleck's gotten more attractive. And I was like, not bad, Bruce Wayne. And I don't care.
Did he ever have his own solo Batman movie, or was he only ever just
He did, didn't he?
He did?
Mm-hmm. No, he did not. He did not. There was everyone was so polarized about him, and I think he just.
Oh, but everyone's okay with Robert Pattinson being Batman.
Well, I feel like that's our punishment, right? You didn't like Ben Affleck. All right.
So here you go.
Here you go. We're bringing in Twilight guy. You're going to be begging for Ben Affleck.
I think Robert Pattinson might do a good job.
I'm secretly hoping he does. I mean, he killed it in Harry Potter. That's the only two things I've ever seen him in was the Twilight movies. And
I'm about to say.
And Twilight and
Twilight?
the Harry Potter movies. And I loved him in the Harry Potter movie. I cried when he died.
He's
Oh,
great as
spoilers.
Cedric,
If you
yeah.
haven't seen it, get under your rock. Get
Sorry,
out
Oh,
of
no,
your
I
Johna.
rock.
haven't
Sorry.
seen it. I already knew that, though.
Oh, okay.
They told me that. Every time we talk about Robert Pattinson, they talk about how he died in Harry Potter. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad.
It was the most, I mean, I think it was in some ways, I would say it was the most disturbing death because of how it happened. I think it was the first, to me, it was the first time. It was when Harry Potter went from it kind of grew up. It went from some of the
Yes.
innocence and the fun of magic. And even though Voldemort was a thing, when Robert Pattinson's character dies, you're like, shit just got real.
That's when the movies got dark.
That's it. Because you're like, I cannot believe you're watching a Harry Potter movie and you're watching a dead child laying there
Yes.
and a father sobbing. Like it's
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that. That's
God.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
And I think that's why people are so like that's so memorable because it really did. It was like this is the point where Harry Potter is growing up. It's not fun and games anymore. People are dying, your friends are dying, and you got to get your shit together because you are the boy who lived.
Yes.
That's it.
You are the chosen one.
Okay. Well, see, I didn't have any idea that we were going to talk about any of this stuff. But since we are, I would love to get back to serial killers and what Hogwarts houses they are sorted into. Kitsie also has a podcast called Miss Murder, and she is a crime addict. Would you say? Can we say crime junkie, or do they own that term? I don't know.
They probably do, but I call my little true crime grouping my true crime tribe. So I'm a tribe leader. Let's just use that.
Okay. All right. I like that.
True crime tribe leader.
That's a lot of words.
So I mean, her podcast Miss Murder is all about chicks who kill, and so she's totally into this stuff, and so a totally normal conversation that we were having, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, I'm gonna go look up serial killers and what Hogwarts house they're sorted into, and I was like, cool, that would be great. I'd love it for the next podcast. Here we are.
I thought they would all be Slytherin, but I'll let you know. I'm sorry. I love your sound effects. Please do them.
Oh, we need more sound effects. 100 episodes. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, I almost lost my voice there. Woo, woo.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, bringing us the scary, the weird, and the killers. It's Kitsie. Woo, woo.
Sup, peeps? Let's talk some murder, shall we? So... I did 3. I could have gone on and on and on, but Google wasn't giving me the answers I was looking for anymore. So we're going to start off with Dennis Rader. Those of you who don't know who Dennis Rader is, he was the BTK killer, killed loads of people, and BTK stands for bind, torture, and kill. So it was not a pretty murder scene when he was done. But he has been sorted into the house Ravenclaw. Are any of you Ravenclaw?
Oh.
Oh, I am.
Johna's a Ravenclaw.
Oh.
I'm so glad we are socially distanced.
Right? Me too.
I'm telling y'all, I can't murder anybody because I will snitch on myself. I would feel so bad about doing it. I would turn myself in. I'd be like, hey, I killed this person. They're buried over here. Can you just take me to prison? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Okay. All right.
It's good to know.
It's good to know if you kill us that we'll be avenged. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yes.
By you.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much, Johna. Next up, we have Ed Kemper. Ed Kemper was a very, very weird man. He killed his mother and earplugs kids, had sex with their skull. But he sorted into, I just act like that's no big deal. Sorry.
I
The
mean,
look on KJ's face.
you didn't do it, but
Yeah. Ed Kemper
because
did.
I have questions, right? But that I don't want to know. Okay.
You don't know. It's mommy issues all the way.
Yeah.
But he sorted into House Slytherin.
Oh, well, that is not a surprise. If you had said Hufflepuff, I would have had a problem.
Actually, if I were to pick his house, I would probably put him into Hufflepuff.
Really?
Yeah. So I watched this series. God, what was it called? I don't know. It's really good. It was on Netflix. was about true crime. It was about like the beginning of the FBI's profiling thing.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
he had a
wow.
character. He was on that show, and he was the sweetest guy when he
Huh?
wasn't killing people. Yeah. And he was,
Okay.
ginormous too. So anyway,
Huh.
you can cut all
Okay.
that out.
All right.
We'll move on to the big one. The big one everybody's heard of, the big one. Everybody knows what this man did. Let's go Ted Bundy, shall we?
Okay. I thought you were
I know
going to
that
go
one.
Jeffrey Dahmer, and I didn't want to do that because he
I
was from
couldn't.
Wisconsin, and
Yeah.
the stain on my state. Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
so
Thank you.
thanks Google for not giving
Yeah.
me that answer because I did
Yes.
search. But this is the third and last one I did. Ted Bundy,
Mhm.
source into House Slytherin, which makes 1,000,000% sense to me.
Yeah. All right. So more Slytherin. I'm glad we didn't get a Gryffindor. That's
same.
me. Yeah. Right. We're Gryffindors,
Same.
but we did get a Ravenclaw. So Johna, we're watching you.
Sorry.
I'm also a Scorpio, and they say like Scorpios are like murderers or whatever. So
Wow, it's all going against you.
Yeah, I'm
Someday-
really
know.
worried about you now.
And now we've done this podcast, so there's like additional evidence of
Yeah.
when the
So you'll have to fess up.
Yep, when the Netflix
I
story
will.
comes out about the confession killer.
Exactly. Like she killed this guy, but she turned herself in right away. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah,
that's
did
Johna,
it.
definitely.
She shows up on the cop's doorstep, the police department doorstep, going, "It was me. I did it. Just lock me up. Here you go."
Thank you.
Which, speaking of that, I have been tortured about what I would do with this show, Dead to Me. I started watching it this weekend. Oh
Love it.
my gosh.
Yo, it's lit, right?
What a mess. Like every
An
time
emotional roller coaster.
oh my
Oh my
gosh,
God.
it's just awful.
It's so good.
It's
No.
amazing.
That's what makes it so good.
Right, but I mean, right, it is awful in a way that makes you want to keep watching it because you're like, this is so messed up. And I didn't think it could get more messed up, but here it is. It's more messed
But
up.
why? So
Are you
keep
on season
watching.
1 still?
Yes.
Wait till you get to season 2.
How can it get
Mhm.
more messed?
It can. Yo, it's nuts in season 2. Like some stuff happened, and I was like, "What? What?" I don't like the way season 2 ended, though.
Nope, same.
The ending was trash. I was like, "You guys couldn't think of any other way to end this episode besides that."
Mhm.
I'm not gonna spoil it because you're gonna watch it, but like,
I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Now I'm like, what are there? Are there 10 episodes in a season?
yes,
Okay.
Ish.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm right at the point where Judy, right? That's her name.
Mhm.
They were on the retreat and she slept with the guy, and he's the cop, the detective who's gonna investigate
Yo.
the murder or the hit and run. So I was like, what is she doing? She is so screwed up.
Oh yeah, dude.
Well,
She's like,
it's true.
her mental health like is just you could just see it deteriorate throughout the whole series because she feels I don't know if you know.
Probably not. No.
Probably not. You can just literally see how like whatever is like eating at her is literally just killing her on the inside.
Tearing
I
her
mean,
apart, yeah.
I know the hit and run, and I know the miscarriages. Is there things
You
more?
know who did the hit and run?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
No, that's it.
Yeah, that was why I was like, this is so messed up. You did it. Why are you putting this detective in front of her? Being like, he's a detective. And she's like,
I honestly feel like she just means to do well the entire time.
She does, but I think that she felt so guilty that she was like, okay, if I give her this detective, then he's gonna find out that it was me, and then I'll be able to repent for my sins and go to prison.
well,
Which is kind of like what she's doing, like the whole series is like she does this really bad thing, and then she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna make it better by doing this, which in turn makes it worse.
Yeah, she definitely is not going your route, Johna. Oops, I did it. Let me show you where the body is, and I'll just go ahead and go to jail.
But the way that she acts, and she killed a person, like the way that she's acting is exactly how I would act if I killed a person.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
think
it would
that's
kill me on the inside.
I mean, that's what it makes you think about that. And if in that moment, someone that you loved and trusted convinced you to hide the car and never speak of it again, like, yeah, that's going to make you a little.
Yeah. But I mean, how hot is James Marsden though?
He is really hot, but I don't
He's
like.
such a babe.
He's such.
I don't like him. I don't like him either. Like I was like, oh, it's James Marsden. He's gonna be so great, and I was like, ew. Why are you like this?
Yes, that's
Is that the Cyclops guy?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Love him. He's great.
He's in all my rom-coms.
You guys talk amongst yourselves. I have to plug my laptop in.
SpaghettiOs. You have to talk amongst
Speaking of James's, and I'm just gonna up and take this somewhere else. I'm watching season 2 of The Order on Netflix, and in walks James Marsters, and I'm like, dude, yeah.
Oh, that guy is in everything.
Everything. Why does he always play a dick?
Well, because he's good at it.
True. But he's like the nicest man in person. I don't understand.
He is really nice. And I actually, when we talked with him years ago, when we first met him at Wizard World, and he's gone on to be in even more things that we watch. I was talking about, how like it's so weird because we watch shows and there he is in that show. We know him from Buffy. And
this guy.
Torchwood, and now he's, I mean, like he's just in everything. And he said, yeah, my daughter hates it because every cool show she starts watching, I ruin by being in it. But yeah, he's okay. So tell me about The Order. Is that something I would like? Is it?
I think so. It won't give you nightmares. It's about magic and werewolves and all the stuff you love.
Is this the Secret Society?
Yes.
One? Okay.
Oh, the one where the girl like makes the guy forget about it or whatever, and then he's okay. Ooh. I saw a preview for this on Netflix.
Okay, so they're in season 2 already.
It was just released this week.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
So Catherine Isabel, who plays like the Magus chick, she's like, she gets promoted later on, so she's like the Magus chick right now. I've worked with her on several occasions with celeb photo ops. And I've shot her, not with a gun, but with a camera. And she is one of my favorite people on the planet. And watching her play this sarcastic bitch has been magical for me. So I highly recommend it. It's good. It's thought-provoking. And there's some cute boys in it, which, is always good for Johna. Yeah. And
always.
But it's good. It's very intriguing, and even Chris is enjoying it. So that's a big deal. No, Max Headroom's in it as well, whose real name I can never remember.
He is?
Yeah, he plays Grandpa. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Grandpa Headroom.
Yeah. Grandpa Pete, actually, but that works.
So I do want to mention that the reason that I started watching Dead to Me was because I wanted to watch something. Patches was your baseball came back. I don't hate baseball, but I gotta be in the mood for it. And
I have to watch baseball in person. I can't watch it on TV.
Same.
Yeah.
Like I have to be at a game. If it's on TV, I won't watch it.
So I was
even at a game, I get bored.
Yeah, I do. No, I do too.
It's more fun to look at their butts in person than on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And like if you go to the Indians here in Indianapolis, I think the minor leagues do a great job with this, and we've got a great field here. But they do theme nights, so I love going with we went for Captain America night, and they fly in like an actual official Captain America cosplayer, like the licensed ones from LA. So it's an actor that is licensed to be Captain America. Actually, the Star-Lord one that they brought in he's my favorite Star-Lord. He was great. But then
Star-Lord is better than actual Star-Lord,
right?
Okay?
But then the entire night with the Guardians of the Galaxy night, all the music that they played the whole night for every time there was something going on and there was a break and they played music or celebrated something was the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I miss going to Indians games, and the Fuel would have been about to start playing too. I love going to the farm team games. Is that what they're called? I don't even know anymore. But those are a blast.
Minor league. Yeah.
minor leagues?
So farm team, Johna, is a term because they're basically farming players. So you might, at any time, you might get moved up to the big leagues, or you might have an injury and get moved down. So that's what it is. But I mean, this year, there are no minor leagues. I mean, that Major League Baseball is in charge of that, and they said not happening. So, but the fuel, I think is still, they will start in October. And I think that they're still on track. I think they're doing a lot of work to make sure that, social distancing can be done. But yeah.
And those of you not from Indy, that's our local hockey team.
Yes.
I've never been to a fuel game.
Oh, they're so fun.
And especially when KJ's there, it's fun.
Why? Because you get to watch me shoot the puck and miss it.
Yes,
Miss it
it's my
every time. Miss it
I want
every
to watch that.
Every time.
I spend like the first 2 periods just losing my mind because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to suck at this. I'm going to get booed. Why did I agree to do this?
Exactly how it goes down.
Oh, I got to go.
I'm like, get another drink.
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. And then they never have a helmet that fits me because my head's so little. Even the junior, like the little kids' helmets don't fit my head. So that I'm like walking out there like a bobblehead because I got a giant helmet on. And
with the knee pads. And,
Oh, yeah. And then as I'm leaning over to like shoot the puck, I'm trying not to have the helmet fall off. So I'm like, oh, this is so bad.
And she's got like a mini stick. So
great. Yeah. I need to go to one of these, man, because that sounds funny.
My favorite.
Well, right before shutdown, you remember we were supposed to do our podcast. Was it? I can't remember what actor was going to be there, and we were going to talk.
Oh,
from
yeah,
The Office,
guy who plays
right?
the weatherman all the time.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the Parks and Rec guy. Yeah, and we were supposed to go. Remember, we were it was kind of in that weird phase where we like, should we not? And then at the last minute, we were like,
kind of when I knew it was real.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
And
Yeah.
it was so sad because we were supposed to do our podcast, and I would have been shooting the puck that night and making an ass of myself again. And don't worry, Johna, I'll talk to the fuel. We'll get back on their schedule.
Can we just, the 3 of us, go in socially distanced and watch you do that? Dear Fuel, I have a question for you.
Right.
Can we have your ice rink for just 15 minutes?
Legitimately.
If I have to do it, then you have to do it.
I'll do it.
Oh, and the other
we'll
terrible
make it a
thing
contest.
is that there is always a tiny human that goes next. Like they have a person, like a regular fan that gets picked from the crowd. Then they have the quote unquote celebrity. That's me. And so they're using that loosely. And then they've got like the little tiny kid. And so the little tiny kid always makes me look bad. The tiny kid gets to go and he's like so close to hitting the goal. And then I step up there and I'm like, he got a helmet that fits him and I don't?
Because his head's bigger than yours.
Exactly.
All right. Well, anyway, but it's for charity. So if I ever do
we love charity.
I would kill to go ice skating right now.
Oh, it would
I do not know how to ice skate.
Well, KJ does. She grew up in Wisconsin. I can ice skate. You can't.
I cannot. I tried. I went one time, like in high school, and I like fell on my ass, and I was like, "All right, I'm done."
Oh, don't let that stop you. It happens to everybody. That's why our butts are padded. Yeah.
Have you looked at my butt? I don't have any padding back there.
Oh, I didn't look at your butt. I will next time I see you next year. But
I feel like no matter what I say there, it's wrong. Like, what do you do, Johna? You have plenty of padding. What are you talking about?
There's no talking our way. No, we should have a kind of nerdy skate night, like roller skate night.
Yes.
You
guys, I wish we'd been friends when what the heck is it called? The Robot Chicken went on tour to support their Star Wars episodes that they've done. Robot Chicken went on tour. They got in a bus and they drove from roller skating rink to roller skating rink across the country. And if you had the copy of Robot Chicken, the new release, you got in to skate with them for free. And they brought gym class heroes with them to perform.
Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. It was the greatest, weirdest night. Seth Green was the best skater. Like I was in awe. Like you could tell he was like, we're going roller skating because this is a reason to roller skate. I love it. He was just like, and at one point somebody stopped him to take a picture. And so I grabbed my sister, and this is when we had like, you had digital cameras, right?
Oh man.
So I had my digital camera, and I'm like, we're going to get a picture with Seth Green. This is going to be great. And we came skating over to him, and he's like, I'm not supposed to stop. Come on, let's go. And he literally grabbed my hand and my sister's hand, Kayla, who didn't know how to skate. I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus, this is going to end so bad. And so he's like pulling us along, and she's like trying not to lose her mind and fall. And he takes the camera from me, and he does a selfie while we're skating, hands the camera back, and takes off. And it's like such a great selfie. I was like,
is it? I was just gonna ask, how did the photo turn out?
It turned out great. I was bending over trying to like steer my sister. So there's a lot of my boob in the picture. I did.
So you won't be posting that on socials.
I have posted it before, like really closely in, so you can only see a little bit of boob. But if you really wanted to like see the how he framed the shot and did such a great job, you would get my boobs.
Okay, well, just text it to me. I'll sign a release.
Yes. Never texting you a picture of my boobs.
No, I want a picture of Seth Green.
I can get you the. It's on my Facebook page somewhere.
I'm not going through all of them pictures, okay?
Yeah, okay?
That's like going through my mom's Facebook page. I'm not doing that.
Well, why do you want me to do it? I may have
because it's your picture.
I know, but I don't want to work that hard to find it.
I guess I'll never see it.
I know what it looks like. I don't need to see it again. I did all these like angle shot, like trying to move it around a little bit. Like, God, how do I get my boob out of this picture? I want to post my picture with Seth Green. Oh, gosh, we have dumb lives. Really, really
great
dumb.
I love our dumb lives.
Yes.
Can we have a t-shirt that says that? I love my dumb life.
Yes, let's do that.
My sister makes t-shirts. I will get right on that.
So we got to figure out a little business talk here. We got to figure out our merchandise. And do we want because you have a merch store and we've got the Teespring thing going on, and now we've got the Just What I Needed network. And do we want to find a way to just have everything all in one spot? Or, that's work talk.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
One-stop shop is what we're going for with this Just What I Needed network. I'm thinking.
Yeah. Make it easy.
The more the merrier.
Yeah,
right?
Totally. Yeah. Right, Johna? Johna's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not in business things. Nobody asked me anything about business. I just show up for the podcast.
You are, Johna, you are the talent. Okay.
You are the talent.
You don't have to do any of the work. I'm
our social media specialist.
Yes. Oh yeah, you do have to do the social media. And you've done great with the 12 Days of Christmas, by the way.
There was a lot of stalking in Chris Evans.
It was.
I'm sure you minded.
Because he had so many things already going on. I was like, oh, yes, this is so great. I don't even have to do that much stalking.
I know. It was like he knew we were doing the 12 Days of Christmas. He's like,
and released it at the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to send this cute message to this little kid who was, saved his sister from a dog, and it's going to go viral.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So cute.
It's so cute. It's so cute. And I still
cried
see
for
people
20 minutes after the fact.
Yes, it's adorable. So I don't know what are we gonna do next, Johna? What's our next big thing? What should we do for August? Do you want to just take a break and watch whatever we want?
I don't know. I was thinking about that. I was like, can
we do spooky in October?
Oh, we can totally do spooky in October.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would be down for spooky in October.
And Johna's going to lead us through all the Christmas movies we should watch because she knows that's her jam.
I love Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm. You know that they've got the Halloween stuff is already out. People are just selling the Halloween stuff already. It's like,
yeah, nobody cares.
Bring it on.
Is it even
Bath and Body
July?
Works.
I bet it's October.
What's that?
Bath and Body Works released all the Halloween stuff.
Yeah, they're releasing their fall scents and stuff.
Oh, very nice.
I didn't look at the fall stuff. Their Halloween selection is insane. All the candles, all the hand sanitizers, the soaps, all the stuff, all the things. I want the one that says I don't know. It's got a witch on it. It's like Coco and something. But the fun names, the fun designs, it's super exciting.
I love it. I mean, it'll be sad if we can't, do a whole lot of gathering around Halloween, but there's a lot of stuff we can do because there's so many like movies and specials, and we can still decorate our houses, and I'll just throw candy in the street, and, stay 10 feet away, get your candy.
I'll just throw candy in the street.
I sanitized it and threw it in the street. Happy Halloween.
Just put it at the end of your driveway. Just put a big old bowl at the end of your driveway. Be like, please take one.
But then they're all going to touch it and give cookies to each other.
You know what?
We're going to have to think about this.
Yeah, we are.
I was going to say, nope.
It's going to like go through we're going to need tubes like they have in the drive-through. And then it goes through a tube. And as it goes through the tube, it gets like sprayed down so that when it gets to the end of the tube and comes out, it's sanitized candy. All right, somebody smart work on that before Halloween.
Somebody smart.
Yeah. Just one to every children's house, and we can send them from our house. Or, if we could just do that Willy Wonka thing like they did to Mike TV where reappeared and then
yeah, we need that.
I get it.
Yeah, attention smart people, we need you. Johna, what's got Johna weeping?
Well, nothing actually. I haven't really been crying.
What?
I've been very angry.
Ooh, what's got Johna
that's what
angry?
makes me cry.
Okay, before I talk about what made me angry, let me tell you why I'm mad at the kissing booth.
Okay.
Because Elle is the worst. I literally hate her right now.
Okay.
Because she played Marco so hard for no reason. And that boy loves that girl.
Loves her.
What? So is she just mean?
No. So in the first Kissing Booth movie, Elle and Lee are best friends. Lee has a brother named Noah, and Elle has a crush on Noah. Then her and Noah start like dating or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, this is so great. But at the end of the movie, he goes to college, right?
Okay.
So in the second movie, he's at college and he meets this girl. Her name's Chloe, and she's British, and she's super. Oh my god, she's so hot. I was like, bruh, I have a crush on her. Like, if he doesn't, I definitely do, because she is one nice looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she was definitely flirting with him. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what he says or she says. Like, no, we're just friends. We're just friends. There's no way in hell that y'all are just friends. There's no way there's no feelings there. Like, if y'all ever watch it, which you probably won't. But
no.
There's like, you can see, like, they do like a parallel of like of Elle's life and Noah's life, like while they're like in school.
Like,
and, like,
real time.
And so like him and Chloe are like going to concerts together, and like he's falling asleep on the couch and she's covering him up with a blanket and she's like caressing his hair while he's sleeping. And I'm like, what is this?
Oh, no, like, she did not.
Right? That's all I'm saying. And so Elle is like not dating this guy named Marco, but there's this new kid at their school. His name's Marco. He's pretty hot. He kind of looks like Noah. He's like a shorter, darker version of Noah. That's what I have come to realize.
Okay.
His name's Marco. He's such a sweetheart. And I'm like, oh my God. And you could just like see him just like falling for Elle like so hard. And I'm like, oh bro, I'm like, don't fall for her. She gonna play you. And she did. She literally kissed him at this dance tournament. And then Noah was there and saw her kiss him. And then she was like, no, it didn't mean anything. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know that shit meant something. You don't just kiss somebody for no reason. Boy,
Johna, I love you. You're so passionate.
Yes.
I'm just saying, y'all. Like, you don't just kiss somebody for no reason.
You.
Like, if you don't have feelings for somebody, you're not going to kiss them. And then she ignores Marco for like days. Like, he's like calling her and texting her, and she's just like not talking to him, and they literally go to the same school. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? So then her and Noah get into it and then like break up or whatever. And I'm just like, oh great, I'm glad you guys broke up. Now I want you to be with Marco so Noah can be with Chloe, because obviously that's how this is supposed to go. But no, of course they get back together at the end, and I was so mad. So then at the end of the movie, They're standing outside of graduation, and you see Marco with like a group of his friends off to the side, and the camera cuts to him, and his friend goes, "Don't worry about her, dude. She's not worth it," talking about Elle, because he's literally staring at her with Noah. And all his friends walk away, and they cut back to him, and he goes, "Yeah, she is." And I was like, "No, she's not. She's not worth it." I was so mad. I was like, "No, I need you to get over her as soon as possible."
I like What's Got Johna Angry a little better.
I think that's my new favorite segment.
But good news is there's going to be a Kissing Booth 3. It's in like the top 10 right now. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. What you got,
I've got an
Kitsie?
Apple TV watch if you're interested. I don't know if y'all kept your subscription or not.
Oh my
God.
It's
got it for free now.
It's so funny you bring that up because it was renewed like 2 days ago. And I was like, oh, why do I keep doing this to myself? So anyway, yeah, I have it for another month. So tell me how I can use my subscription that I keep forgetting to cancel.
Absolutely. I got your back, girl. So it's called Truth Be Told.
Mhm.
It's starring Octavia Spencer.
Love.
What's the guy? Oh, Aaron Paul's in it as well. And Lizzie
Breaking Bad.
Kaplan.
Breaking Bad, Johna.
Is that the
Aaron
bald
Paul.
guy from Breaking Bad?
No, that's the younger guy.
The younger guy.
I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I only really
Okay.
know the bald
All
guy
right.
who looks
All
like my dad. So
Moving on.
Okay. And Lizzie Kaplan, who plays twins, and she killed it. And I don't know what I know her from. I've even checked IMDb, but she was fabulous. So the premise of this show is, I won't go into as much detail as Johna does because my memory's not that good.
Mhm.
But it's about a true crime podcaster who had her start in journalism, like real journalism with a newspaper, things like that. And
Mhm.
there was a case that kickstarted her career. And then now that she's a podcaster, she feels for some reason that it's her fault this guy's in jail since he was a teenager, and she has to fix it because she no longer thinks he did it. And his
Oh.
mother's dying.
Oh.
So yeah, it's really good. Not a lot of death. It's just more of a drama. You want to
Okay.
go along the SVU type vibe, that kind of thing. Really well done. And I like that it's based around a podcaster as well. I just took this whole episode
Yeah.
full circle. There
Ah,
you go.
I love it. Yes. We're waiting for that thing to happen to us we'll launch our podcast into, something people listen to.
But it made me feel like I suck as a true crime podcaster. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't.
I'm like, I need to get out in the field and prove some shit.
No, because
That'd be
at the
good.
end of the day, what people want in a podcast is someone who's as passionate about whatever they care about as them. So I don't know anybody more passionate about true crime than you. So
I would
Thank
agree.
you. That's a
highly
huge compliment.
recommended. Every time I listen to your podcast, you actually talk about it in a way that doesn't like freak me out. I mean, I know it's like murder and stuff, but I think because you're like,
Yeah.
bitches be crazy. I'm like, yeah, it is crazy. So,
No, it's absolutely. And I get pissed. Like Johna gets pissed about that kissing booth.
yes.
Some of these murderers, I'm like, this bitch. I mean, that's literally my saying in I'm like, this bitch, come on, people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the way you present it. And I don't want to watch shows like, SVU and things like that, where it's like the crime
but
could like
SVU 's
be
so
real.
good.
Ugh. I watch, I don't know why, but because I've never been into a show like that. But when SVU was announced like years ago when it first came on, I was like, I'm going to watch that show.
You mean 20 years ago? Yes.
Right. I know. And I
Yes.
was, yeah, Johna.
Yesterday to me,
Yeah.
Johna.
I was.
I love SVU, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that's
But
my
I remember the first episode scared me so much, like that,
Chris
like
Nolan.
that kind of crap happens for real. That I was like, I can't watch this show. That's terrible. I don't ever want
Honestly,
to know about that.
It curbs my anxiety about that. I don't know how to explain it. There are so many other people who feel this way. I don't know if I feel like if I'm put in this situation, I would know what to do because I don't know what it is. I can't.
Okay.
And that's how I got hooked on My Favorite Murder, is that's how they get over their fear of crazy people out there killing people, is by laughing at it and not laughing at the murders per se, but but making it fun. You learn something.
Yeah.
I can't explain
I totally get what you're saying, because I am like the queen of dead parent jokes. Like, I have to warn people.
At me.
Right? I have to warn people. Like, look, my parents are dead, and I get pretty funny about it, because that's how I do grief. So
Wait, when you stop recording this, I'm going to tell you the joke my sister told her fiance.
Oh dear.
On Father's Day.
Oh dear. All right. Well, then we have to go.
Yeah, we're out of here, guys. We got stuff to hear.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Oh man, is this something I could put on Patreon, Johna? If someone wanted to hear the story, could they pay $5?
I mean,
did you know we have a Patreon?
I didn't know that.
I did not.
I mean, if they want to hear a dead dad joke, they totally can.
Oh man, what if that becomes our Patreon?
Dead dad jokes, $5 a month.
I gotta tell you, I got so much dead parent material, and my parents would be very happy that I deal with their deaths by making fun of it. So that's how we're gonna end this show. Yeah, we're weird. So yeah, you can donate a little money to us on Patreon. Maybe help us get some counseling to deal with our issues a little bit better than we do.
Yeah, see, I still can't joke about it.
Yeah,
so yeah, I need the counseling.
Oh, okay. All right. We can help you.
I only joke about it because I have counseling.
Oh, okay.
We're in all the pod places. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we are on Good Pods, which is a new place, which is really cool because you can find other pod recommendations. It's like Facebook for podcasters and people who love podcasts. So, check us out and do the thing. And I'm sorry that our 100th episode is not like full of, parties and gifts and all the things, but someday we'll be back
they forgot
together.
to send the gifts.
Oh
KJ,
yeah,
so it's their fault.
You don't have to send us a gift. You can just give us $5 on Patreon.
Please. We're very
What is the Patreon address?
I don't know. Kind of nerdy girls. However you find things on Patreon. Can't you just go to Patreon and look up
Okay. How are you plugging a Patreon and you don't even know the link for it?
Here is the thing. If you go to Kind of Nerdy, if you go to the Kind of Nerdy Girls website, if you go to kindofnerdygirls.com and you scroll towards the bottom, you'll see a little button that says Patreon. So
there it is.
You found it? All right. All right. So there you go. You learned something from this podcast. You learned how to give us money.
Please give us money. We're very poor.
All right. The Kind of Nerdy Girls podcast is part of the Just What I Needed network. Choo, choo, choo. We hope we were just what you needed. All right.
That was good.
Ooh, thank you. Yeah, all right. Let me stop recording. And now we're going to get to the dad joke. Whoop, whoop. All right.